It's the start of a brand new year, and we're asking the big questions. What did you learn from 2024? How can you align your goals with your values? And most importantly, how will you reignite your passion and purpose for 2025? In today's episode, Yvonne and I are diving into three powerful steps to help you reflect, renew, and reignite for the year ahead. We'll share practical tips, thought provoking questions, and personal insights to kickstart your best year yet. So let's get into it. Welcome to The Brain Changers, a podcast about learning how to revolutionize the way you think and live by mastering your mind. We're your hosts, mother and daughter duo Rebecca and Yvonne King from Moonbeam Monday. Our goal is to empower you to live the life you choose by teaching you how to retrain your brain. Some people tell us it sounds like mind control, and it is, but not the way you might think. This is about you taking control of your own mind rather than letting your mind control you, so you can choose to live a life free from the expectations of others. No matter what you've experienced in the past, you can create positive change and transformation by learning how to master your mind. We know this because we've done it. Between us, we've survived cancer and stroke and eliminated debilitating anxiety and depression. We've turned our pain into purpose through the power of our mind, and we're now here to support and guide you to do the same. In this podcast, we share valuable insights about how your brain works, why you think, say, and do the things you do, how to begin the process of change, and why it's necessary. Because we know that when you change your mind, you change your life. Thanks for joining us. Let's go. Hello, and welcome back to the Brain Changers podcast. It's the first episode of 2025. I'm Rebecca, and I couldn't be more excited to kick off this brand new year with you. Now, if you're a regular listener, you know this is where we explore brain-based strategies to change your thoughts, words, and actions so that you can live a life on purpose. And if you're new here, welcome. You've joined us for a fantastic episode today because today we're diving into the theme of reflect, renew, and reignite. We're going to help you reflect on the past year, align your goals with your values, and set powerful intentions for an incredible 2025. Or, as I heard someone call it the other day, 2020 Thrive. And as always, I'm joined by my brilliant co-host, also my mum, Yvonne. Yvonne, how are you feeling about stepping into 2025?
Well, hi, Beck, and a very special hello to everyone. Look, I'm really excited about this episode, Beck, because reflecting on the past year and setting intentions is something that I always find quite energizing, actually. And it's like a fresh start, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to sharing some really practical tips with our listeners today.
Great. Okay, so let's begin by looking back at 2024. Now, some may ask, what is the point of looking back? Shouldn't we be concentrating on being present, looking forward to our future? And the answer, of course, is yes. Ultimately, we want to be mindful in our lives today and present and visualize the future that we want in order to bring it to fruition. Telling the same old stories, going over and over things that we might have done differently, even years later, it doesn't change anything, does it? And in fact, reliving our past over and over, or just going over something that's even happened recently, looking for answers from other people, it's really what keeps us stuck. But reflection is different. Reflection is such an important practice because it allows us to celebrate our wins, something that I think we don't do enough of. It helps us learn from our challenges because we all have challenges in life, and it helps us to acknowledge our growth. Too often we can focus on what didn't go right. That's our brain's negativity bias at play, and we can forget to recognize how far we've come. So, Yvonne, what's one of your favorite reflection questions to ask yourself?
Well, for me, it's always important to think about the challenges that I've had to face and how I've actually done that, and that I'm actually proud of overcoming them.
Mm.
Now, challenges or traumas can be pretty tough to go through, but we all go through them from time to time. But it's very beneficial for us to get something out of that, to reframe it, and then we can use it as an opportunity for growth. Um, for example, we may have gone through a particularly difficult challenge, and it may or it may not be over. And obviously, we don't enjoy that. But there are many things that we can take from it. Like, how did we actually face it? Did we face it with calmness, with courage? Did we, persevere through it? Those are all very beneficial things to be able to look back and say, well, even though I've been through something difficult, I am happy, I'm proud of the way that I faced it.
Yeah.
What about you, Beck?
Yeah, okay. I love this question. If you could go back to the start of the year, what advice would you give yourself? Because it's amazing how much insight we gain when we reflect on that. If we put ourselves back in our, beginning of the year shoes, knowing what we know now, knowing those challenges that we've faced, knowing those lessons that we've learned, what advice would I give myself now? Because then I can actually do that for the coming years, for the coming year. So, to our listeners, grab a notebook or just think about the answer to these questions. We've got three questions for you. So, number one, what are you proud of accomplishing in 2024? Now, remember, this doesn't have to be a huge accomplishment. I think sometimes we think of these big things that we've set out to achieve. What's the biggest thing that we're proud of? But actually, these can be small wins. It's really important to celebrate the big, the small, the in between. Okay, so it could be a small habit, perhaps that you've built throughout the year. It may have been just one simple decision that you made. So, what are you proud of accomplishing in 2024 is question number one.
That's a really good place to start, isn't it, Beck?
Mm,
On that, we could say, well, what's one challenge that we've successfully overcome that we feel has made us a stronger person?
mm,
Perhaps it's something you thought you'd never be able to overcome or never be able to do. But actually, when you reflect upon it, the challenge is behind you, you've survived, you've grown as a person, and you've learnt something from it. So, what is something that you can think of that, or a process that you've been through that has you can look back at and be proud of what you've done?
yeah. And number three, what's the most important lesson you're taking into this coming year? So there's going to be many, many lessons, of course, and we encourage you to capture them all. But what is the one that stands out? Now, when we go through this process, again, generally because our brain has a negativity bias, we tend to go for the worst things first. So there may be some that feel negative at first. For example, you might think one of the lessons is, well, failure is inevitable because I failed at staying consistent with my goals or I didn't achieve my goals. But let's take the opportunity to reframe that into I learned that I need better systems and support to stay consistent. So you can already hear the difference in that language. It is more positive. This isn't about, one of those catchphrases at the moment, toxic positivity. This isn't about being positive all the time, but this is about using the power of our language to change the way we think, change the way we feel. So instead of sticking with that somewhat negative failure is inevitable, we can switch that around and say, I learned that I need better systems and support to stay consistent. And then we've actually got some action points. What is the system that we need? What support do we need around us when we work to achieve these goals this time?
Yeah, that's a really important point, Beck, because when we do this, when we reframe something, it actually gives us an opportunity to learn and grow,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
it does. Absolutely.
So, listeners, take your time with these questions and really think about it. Remember to celebrate even the small wins, the small steps that you've taken, because they all add up to big growth.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so now that we've reflected a little, let's move on to the next step. This is renewing your focus by aligning your goals with your values. So, Yvonne, why is this alignment so important?
Well, it actually is everything, Beck. When our goals or what we want to achieve in life align with our values, they actually feel more meaningful and they're more motivating for us.
Mm.
For example, say you value connection, that is high on your list of values, but maybe our actions or our goals don't include time for relationships. So we're going to be out of harmony there. It's like you might be feeling unwell and your blood pressure is too high or too low. So you haven't got that harmony in your body. It's the same with our values and our habits or our actions in life. If they're out of sync with one another, they're not aligning, then we're not going to have that sense of harmony in our life.
That's right. Yeah. So, here's an activity for those of you listening. Hey there, listeners. This is Rebecca King, the Brain Changer, helping you revolutionize the way you think so you can live your life on purpose. If you're loving what you're learning here on The Brain Changers, we've got something special for you. Take back control of your own mind and truly connect with like-minded people by joining our Mind Masters Collective, a premium subscription membership for those who want to feel happy and confident again, to feel seen, heard, and valued at an incredibly affordable price. Inside, you'll gain exclusive access to a supportive community of people on the same journey as you, knowing they want something more and ready to invest in themselves to achieve it. You'll get loads of valuable resources and expert guidance on mastering your mind to help you live your absolute best life. You'll make new connections and friends that you didn't even know you needed. We'll get close and personal in monthly masterclasses with guest experts and monthly mastermind group coaching to help you navigate the challenges and celebrate the wins as you grow and change. Join us now by clicking the link in the show notes. We're all waiting excitedly for you to join us inside the collective. To align your goals with your values, begin by identifying your top 3 values. Now, we talked a lot more about values back in episode 11, so feel free to go back and have another listen to that to refresh yourself with how to elicit your values and the importance of them. But for this activity, when you identify your top 3 values, you might choose things like creativity, growth, or health, for example. So when you've got your top 3 values, then look at your goals for this year. Do your goals reflect those values? If not, how can you adjust them? So if you're wanting to know how, like whether they're reflecting your values, just take um, that value of health, for example. If you've set goals for yourself, yet none of them reflect anything to do with health, it might be movement, exercise, nutrition, mental health, spiritual health, whatever health means to you, and it will mean different things to different people. If none of your goals are reflecting that value of health, then there's some adjustment required.
Yeah, as we've already discussed, it becomes easier to attain your goals when they're aligned with what's important to you. Now, if you turn that around, it's not going to be hard to do things that you find important or you're passionate about. That's going to make life a lot easier, isn't it?
That's right.
And that's what we're aiming to do. We don't want our life, we don't want to bring difficulty or conflict into our lives. Because if we don't strive for this, then we're going to find ourselves avoiding the very things that we need to do to help us achieve our goals. And I think it's also important to remember that it's okay to refine or change your goals or um, do this as you go along. Because if you're halfway through the year, for example, and you realize that, something's not quite as important to you as you thought, or you need to pivot and change direction a little bit, that's fine. Remember, we're not striving for perfection here. We're simply looking for action and growth.
That's right. Yes. Okay, so finally, let's talk about reigniting your motivation by setting powerful intentions for the year ahead. Now, actually, when we talk about the word motivation, I prefer the word inspiration over motivation because motivation actually comes from doing the thing, right? Many of us have made the mistake throughout our lives of sitting around waiting for the motivation. I'm not feeling I'm waiting for the motivation to kick in so that I can actually go and do the thing. But the motivation actually only comes once you do the thing. So let's perhaps flip this and work on inspiration. So setting intentions for the year supports this. And intentions are different from goals. Hey, goals are the what, but intentions are the why and the how. So intentions are about the energy that you bring to your actions. Why are you doing this in the greater picture of things? So, Yvonne, what's an example of a powerful intention for you?
Well, one of mine, or my most important one at the moment, actually, is that I intend to finish writing my book uh, because I want to share what I've learned with my audience, with my world. So this intention feels aligned with my purpose. It's keeping me inspired to complete this. It's an important goal for me.
Yeah.
So it's not just about what I want to achieve, but it's actually how I also want to feel
Mm.
and show up while I'm actually achieving this.
Yeah.
How about you, Beck?
Okay, so one of mine this year is I will build a consistent meditation routine to support a clear and calm mind. Now, my intention behind this is so that I can be the best for myself and also for my clients. Now, I can't do what I do if I have a cluttered mind, if I don't feel calm. And I'm not going to enjoy life either if I'm feeling uptight and cluttered. So that's my intention, my greater intention behind that. And intentions like these keep me connected to my values and my vision for the year. So, to our listeners, take a moment to set three intentions for this year. So, imagine that it's December 2025, it's the end of the year. Picture yourself looking back on the year. What have you achieved? How do you feel? And who have you become? Use that vision and your top three values to guide your intentions. And you may even want to choose a word for 2025. Now, this is something that is very popular. You may have seen other people sharing their words on social media, sharing that they have a word for 2025. And as we know, words have power. So once you have set your intentions, and once you're familiar with your goals, your values, and all of tying all of that together, is there one word that can sit as an umbrella above that that's going to help guide you through 2025? So, to recap, today we've reflected on the lessons and wins for 2024. We've renewed our focus by aligning our goals with our values, and we've reignited our inspiration with powerful intentions for 2025. So think of the new year really as a blank page, and you get to decide what story you write. It can be anything you decide. Yvonne, is there any final thoughts that you have for our listeners?
Yes, I think an important point to remember here is a reminder actually that transformation and change takes time. and intention. Um, Most of our listeners would be familiar with the concept of compounding interest in terms of financial investment. The small wins over time, or the small amounts of money over time, add up to something much larger.
Mhm.
And it's the same with our actions. Everything we do, and that can be just very small tweaks, day by day or week by week, but they add up to something much bigger than the sum of their parts. And so this is something to remember, that we don't have to have massive, huge goals, but all those small steps can add up to something very, very worthwhile over time. So celebrate every step forward, be patient with ourselves, realize that we are making progress. And if you need support, the Mind Masters Collective is here to help you with that support.
Yes, absolutely. And if you enjoyed this episode and you want to dive deeper, check out the Mind Masters Collective. It's the perfect time to join our beautiful community to start the year fresh, set your intentions, be supported to become the person that you want to be in 2025. And you'll find all the details in the show notes. So that is it for another episode. Thanks for joining us today on The Brain Changes. And remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Brain Changes. We hope you've enjoyed the conversation today. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest episodes. Our mission is to reach as many people as possible to help them revolutionize the way they think so they can change their brain and create profound transformation. Please help us broaden our reach by sharing this episode with someone you know will benefit. And remember to tag us on socials at Moonbeam Monday and leave a review. And remember, when you change your mind, you change your life. We'll catch you next time for another episode of The Brain Changes.